everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Stitching with Nicole, Flosstube episode 136. Welcome back to my weekly stitching update here on YouTube. This is my video series, my weekly video series, where I share everything I have been stitching. If it requires needle and thread, this is where I share that. Just a note before we get started, I want to let you guys know that some of the links in the description box may be affiliate links, which does mean I earn a small commission if you choose to shop through those links at no additional cost to you. Thank you so much for your support of my work and my channel. I want to say a big thank you to, I made a note here, the username is SandWMarv. Thank you so much for the Ko-fi donation. I super appreciate that. That's definitely going to help when I take my latest finish to the framer hopefully this week. I hope they call me and let me know that my framed pieces are done. So I have another one to take. So thank you so much. I do have a Ko-fi, which is like a buy me a coffee thing. It's down in the description. It is never expected, but always appreciated. So thank you so much. Okay, so lots to talk about this week. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about the landing page at Lindy Stitches for my Patriotic Pairs Stitch Along coming soon. So Steph at Lindy Stitches has got a landing page there where I'm going to take you through it and we'll talk all about that. I have one FFO this week. It's been a little bit of a rough week. We'll talk about that. Two, I have maybe one WIP and a new start to share with you. And then we're going to talk in that section about Christmas WIPGO. The new numbers have been pulled, and we'll talk all about that. I am going to be sharing my previous St. Patrick's Day, spring, and Easter finishes with you guys today. I thought this, as I'm switching out decor, this was the perfect time to start sharing those things again, and hopefully maybe one of those will spark some inspiration for you guys. And then I am going to share my current Easter WIPs, things that I have stitches in. I know I probably shared those during my WIP parade, but I want to share what I am interested in working on this season, as well as kitting up a few things that are on my radar. So I'm going to show you some things that I would really love to start. And I got to be honest, I may just do a Start-a-Palooza this week. And then finally, I have a little happy mail and Enable Vision. So let's dive into this week's episode. As a reminder, I do put timestamps down in the description below, as well as links to hopefully everything I talk about, as long as I have a link for that. So you can always find that information either down below or in the first pinned comment in the comments section if I have been long-winded and have too many things to tag. Okay, so before we dive into this week, I do want to share that there is now a landing page at Lindy Stitches for my Patriotic Pairs Stitch Along. And that is going to start. I haven't solidified the start date because I would kind of like mark it to be over. I am working on that, so it will go up soon. But I want you to have that chart, and I want to have that chart in hand. I don't have it yet either. Before we get too into it. It will be a 4-week sal. So we will stitch a pair a week, and then the last week will be a finishing tutorial. I'm pretty sure there will be a 5th week, which will be some sort of a bonus project, not related to the Patriotic Pairs. or that stitch anyway, I have something that I want to share with you that will coordinate. So there will be a 5th week with a bonus project from me. Let's pop over to Lindy's Stitches. I want to show you where the landing page is. I want to talk a little bit about this, and I want to let you guys know right now it's the pre-order for the pairs, some fabric options for you guys. Some fabrics are harder to get than others, so just do your best. I'm going to show you what I pulled. I'm going to use the Weeks Dye Works threads. I think they're the called for. We'll double check when we get over there to the pattern. But coming soon, I don't know that it'll go up before market. It may be after. There will be finishing bundles for you at Lindy's Stitches. There will be 3 coordinating cotton fabrics that I have chosen for you for the back of the pairs, as well as wool from Weeks Dye Works and interfacing, because that's how I like to finish my pairs. So the finishing kits will go up once they are cut and ready for you, and I know that Steph will let me know when that is, so I'm really excited to be able to offer you those finishing kits from Lindy's Stitches. Let's pop over here, and I am over on the Lindy's Stitches homepage. A couple of reminders: make sure and get your pre-orders in this week for anything you want from Market. I know we've talked about that a lot. Now I want to share kind of how the easiest way to get to my landing page. Honestly, I think, let me look at this really quick and see. I think how I like to get there is, we're going to go over here to the search bar, and if you type in Patriotic Pairs, okay, right here, see how I just started, and if you come down, it says Annie B's Patriotic Pairs with Nichol. Click that. If you click that, it's going to take you to the landing page for this, and it's going to have some fabric options. Aztec Red is the called for fabric, so in lots of different counts. It's going to have the Weeks Dye Works floss that's called for. It's going to have some blue fabric options, neutral fabric options. We're just going to click over here. All of that. So don't be alarmed about the Patriotic Pairs chart being sold out. They will be getting more. That just means that the pre-order for this sold out. So sign up, please, to be notified right here, because I know she's ordering deep in this so that everybody will get one. That's why I'm saying do not be worried. You will, I will give you time to get your chart, and if you order it somewhere else, that's fine too. But I wanted to show you the landing page here. Now, the models were stitched on 36 count Aztec Red by Weeks Dye Works, which you saw there on, in the landing page as an option. Nantucket Eve by Seraphim, and Thornfield by Needle and Flax, all 36 count, 1 strand over 2 linen threads. There is a DMC conversion right there, and then the Weeks Dye Works threads are sun-dried grits and deep sea. I will be using Weeks Dye Works, but there are both options. You can use any count fabric you want. You do not have to use, I'm going to come back to me because you've seen this now. You do not have to use 36 if that's not what you want to use. You will be getting enough in the finishing kit to finish. It should be any size, whether it's 14, 28 count, 16, 32, etc. Or if you're going to make it smaller. I'm going to stitch mine on 36. That's my preference. But I'm going to talk to you guys about how to finish in the finishing video if you finish on a different count of fabric. Promise it will be easy peasy. I'm going to show you step by step how I finish my pairs. I do follow Annie's instructions for the most part, but I'm just going to share some things that I do that hopefully help you guys. And I'll be your cheerleader all along the way. We'll have weekly stitch-alongs, which is a live stitching together for 3 weeks, and then that final edited video will be the finishing, and then the last bonus week will be an additional project from me, which will be an edited video as well. So that is that. I hope that helps you guys a little bit. I do want to share what fabrics I picked. I'm just going to flip my camera. I had one of the called for fabrics, and funny enough, it's probably the one that's the least easy to get, which is 36 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. I had that, so I pulled it to use. And then as far as the other two colors, I don't think I have 36 count Aztec Red. I have it in a different count. So this is the fabric that I just took my red pillow finishes I shared with you last week off of. This is a scrap of red velvet from Color and Cotton. It was a limited edition. This was a 2023 color. Even with stitching several things on this, and I've stitched several things on this, like at least 3. I have lots of fabric left, so that's what I picked. It's just a nice red, but Aztec Red is beautiful. I love it. I was just trying to use things in my stash. And then I picked Aruba Soft for my blue, which is also Color and Cotton, but there are lots of great options for you at Lindy's Stitches. Again, I'm trying to use things from my stash for the most part. So I picked these. I think they're going to be beautiful. I did have to order the sun-dried. It was the only color of floss I didn't have already in my stash, or it's kitted up with something else, and it's Deep Sea Grits and sun-dried. So really, really excited about this stitch along, you guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait for our live stitching sessions with this and to share with you all the finishing and the bonus projects. So grab anything you need, sign up for notifications if you missed out on getting your chart pre-ordered before the cutoff. And like I said, more charts are on the way. Just because it's sold out, that generally means that the quantity that they ordered and they put in sold out, even though I know she ordered deep in that one, because the interest is so great. And they will get more either aftermarket, or if they can grab more from Annie at market, they will do that. So grab your chart, pull the things that you need right now, and I'll take you through everything from cutting your fabric. We'll do it all. It's going to be a very inclusive stitch along where I am going to show the steps for cutting down your fabric, where and how do I start, all that good stuff. I'm super, super excited and cannot wait for our first stitch along of 2026. So let's talk some FFOs. If you follow me on social media, I did post this in regards to my Friday Paper Crafting Live. I've had a little bit of a rough week. I have to have a root canal retreatment this week. I thought it was going to be Friday when I went for my Thursday for a consultation with the endodontist, which I'd never been to before, by the way. I know some of you are probably going, what? But I talked to a friend and she'd never heard of that either. The dentist I used to go to always did the root canals themselves, and now they sent me, my new dentist sent me to the endodontist who only do root canals. So I have a crowned tooth that needs retreatment. Delighted, I have to tell you. I didn't even know this was a thing. I knew it was a thing, but we hope to save the tooth. I don't want another extraction. So I was in a little bit of pain earlier this week. I went to my dentist. He did give me an antibiotic, and he did give me a pain pills too. I'll tell you right now, I haven't taken a single one. The pain would have to be excruciating, mind-numbingly bad for me to take them. I'm just taking ibuprofen, and I've been fine. I can feel it dully, but it's not terrible. And this is why they didn't do it last week. They scheduled me for this week. They had an emergency and asked if I could be pushed. And I said yes, because I'm not in excruciating pain. Obviously, I'm here. So I don't have a good reaction to pain medication. I already know this. I know this about myself with prior surgeries, C-sections and such, where it doesn't affect me well at all. I get really nauseous. I don't feel good. So I don't like to take it. I guess I have it in case of in an emergency, but it's going to have to be a dire circumstances for me to take it. The last time I took it was when I had my tooth extraction 6 months ago. And I'll just tell you right now, I took two. I took one right when my tooth started. It really did hurt. And I took one, and yes, I felt better. But you guys, I couldn't get out of bed. I lost 2 days because I was so nauseous. I had a hard time eating, which made the nausea even worse. I mean, it was just a vicious circle. I don't do well on them. That's the moral of that story. So wish me luck Tuesday morning as I go and have that root canal retreatment. I will say, they did all of the x-rays and everything, and the endodontist said it definitely needs a retreatment, and he can see the infection, just as my dentist could as well. But he doesn't think the tooth is cracked. And he said, obviously, until he gets in there, he doesn't know, but he would be surprised, is what he told me, if it isn't just an easy fix. So, crossing my fingers, praying for a good outcome there. That's enough of that. I have a crazy, crazy week coming up, so it's nice to spend a little time talking about some stitching. That being said, I forgot even why I started this story. I did not get very many Valentine FFOs. I had 4 things left to do, a frame and then 3 soft finishes. The 3 soft finishes did not happen. And I'm going to give myself a pass on that. I still have them in a stack, in a hopeful stack to do. But you guys, if they get done next year, it's okay. In fact, I'm just going to tell you right now, I really only foresee me finishing one of them. The other 2 are part of the Love Note series from With Thy Needle and Thread, and I don't have the other things stitched. So I think I might just put those back in the box or back in that whip bag, and we'll revisit those next year. I'm okay with it. I've made my peace. So what I did finish, my signed and numbered frame came from Etsy, and I wanted to finish the Silver Creek samplers stitch that I'd done several years ago. And so here is my finish. It is a very tight fit. I knew this when I got it, but I love it. I love, love, love it. And this is what it looks like on the back. You can put this in or out, or you can hang it on the wall if you want to. I just put it in for now. I will definitely be buying more of these frames from Signed and Numbered because I think they are super fun. This is the 4-inch opening. I probably could have done the 5. I contemplated it, but I didn't want a lot of space around. More than buying a new frame, I would stitch this. This was on Lugana. That's how long ago I stitched it. I think I stitched it 3 to 4 years ago. I would restitch this before that and make it a little smaller, but I'm happy with it. It's cute. It's fun. I'm going to tuck it away in my Valentine finishes, and likely when I get it out next year, I'll be like, what was I even talking about? I love it. So, or not, who knows? But this is my Do Everything in Love. So I did have this FFO this week. Love it so, so much. Highly, highly recommend these frames. Love them. I'm so glad. I saw Tara Sully Stitches talking about them. I think I've seen other people talk about them as well. And so I took a chance. This is the ruby color, I believe. If it's not, I'm going to put on the screen if it's something different than what I just told you. But I love it. And I love it has a little bit of distress around the edges. And I don't think it took very long to get mine. So I will tag Signed and Numbered below. And very, very, very cute. I think I used my own colors on this stitch. I gotta be honest, I have zero idea It was stitched so long ago, I don't remember anything about it. I thought it would be helpful to show you how I frame this, so I'm going to pop in a little video of how I figured out the sizing, laced it, and popped it in the frame. All right, so I thought we would do a fun little mini tutorial on how I'm going to frame this free stitch. This is from Silver Creek Samplers. I stitched this like 2-3 years ago. Maybe 3 years ago now. And I purchased this frame from Signed and Numbered on Etsy. Here's what it looks like. It's got a little hole and a dowel to make it a little kickstand, or it has the nice little hanging frame to frame it, to hang it. And it comes with glass in it, but I already moved the glass and put it elsewhere because I don't want to have glass in my finish. But it comes with a piece of foam core. But what I want to show you is that the foam core fits in here so tightly that wrapping the fabric around it to lace it is not going to fit. It's more made for photographs or some sort of other flat artwork, not necessarily a stitched artwork. So I'm going to keep this because I'm going to use it in the back of my frame. All right, so I first double checked to see if my stitch fits. It does. This is the 4-inch opening. I love it. So what we're going to do, and truth be told, I thought I was filming and I wasn't. I took a piece of 9x12, that's just the package I had, of press-on board, and I trimmed down 1/8 of an inch smaller than the 5 3/4 and 5 by 5 3/4. That's what they had written on here for the foam core. So just 1/8 of an inch smaller. I'm going to put my sticky board on top of the foam core. Gives me, see that little bit of room? I think that's going to allow me to wrap my fabric around this to stick it in the frame. We're going to try it. So what I'm going to do first, and this is the press-on board, so if we peel this off, it's going to be sticky. I'm going to set my foam core and my backing and my frame out of the way. And we're also going to pop the rest of this leftover press-on board out of the way. I am going to grab some, I like my stitch to be, I don't want it to be flat to this. I want it to have a little bit of batting. So I'm going to grab a scrap of batting and we'll trim that down to the size of our press-on board. So I just have some scrap batting. And what I'm actually going to do is peel this off and stick this, because I don't like to stick my stitch to the press-on, but I'm going to stick my batting on this. And then we'll cut around it. Okay, so now that we've stuck our batting on here, I'm just going to cut around it. And I definitely don't want to cut into sticky board with my good fabric scissors. And because I have enough stuff in this frame, I think just one piece of batting. Sometimes I like two, but I think this is going to be plenty. I don't need it to be super puffy. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to center this on my fabric square. And that's about good. So I'm just going to cut it a little bit bigger. And we're going to take a little peek at it. I might need to iron it. Lugana sometimes is a little more forgiving, and probably if I pull it tight enough, don't even know if we'll see it. So now I am going to pull my frame back really quick, and we're going to take a peek. That actually looks pretty good. All right, so next I need to double check my spacing, and I just hold it up to the light. I know you guys can't see it, but I want to eyeball it as straight as possible. And I'm going to grab some thread and a needle, and we're going to lace it. Okay, I've talked about this a lot. I use this upholstery thread because it's nice and strong when I'm lacing. So that's what I'm going to use again today. And I'm going to start with a pretty long piece. Crochet thread is also a great option, just something nice and strong. All right, we're going to start kind of here in the middle, and I'm going to take a little sideways stitch, and I'm going to try to anchor it. Yeah, it pulled through, that's why. So I like to kind of do a couple little stitches. Pretty sure this was 28 count. I will double check because the sticker's still on there. I think I'm actually going to go through this to anchor this into my, I just did a little loop anchor there. And we're going to come across over here and grab a little bit. So I'm going to go, whoops. The only problem with this super long piece of floss thread is it's kind of a pain. And we're just going to do a little zigzag back and forth, pulling it nice and taut. Like this. So let me lace this, and then we'll come back and finish it. Okay, so once we have one direction, I'm going to kind of do this, fold this in, and I kind of like to do like a couple of little whip stitches to keep this nice and folded in. So I'm going to do that on this side. See how nice that looks? And then I'm going to fold in the opposite side, and we're going to come pull it down here. I feel like I need an extra set of hands, so we're going to do a couple of clips. There we go. And I'm going to just go ahead and whip stitch this as well so that it's stitched down. All right, so now we have our piece all laced. And that's what it's going to look like in there. So I'm going to give it a nice tight fit. Once I'm happy with where it is, we're going to put, I'm super glad that I put it on something a little bit smaller. And yes, I do want to mention, so the next size up, there would have been a lot more room around it. I really like the tight fit where it's kind of side to side. So and if I could have stitched it on something else to fit in here better, but why? It looks good. I like it. So we're going to go ahead and pop this in here. We're also going to take the frame back and we're going to pop this in here. So tight, which is good, but I have to get all of these little things out of the way. There we go. Okay, I'm going to double check one more time, and we're going to go ahead press all of these in place. To secure it. And this way, if I ever want to take this out, if I ever want to do something different with the finish, I totally can. It's not permanent. If I want to turn it into a pillow or whatever. And there is my finish. It's so cute. Isn't that going to be adorable on a shelf? Really, really happy with it. And it's kind of got that little bit of poofiness to it. And I just replaced the glass basically with my stitch piece. In this section, I thought I would share another finish I have. It is not cross stitch, it's not quilting, it's felt stitching. And I did have a video go up on my channel this week for this adorable little felt stitched bunny. This is a new die from Simon Says Stamp. And the other one I actually sent to Simon Says Stamp, so I don't have it. I made two versions. This is kind of the blue, more neutral version. The other one had a lot more color to it, although I would still consider it a little bit more muted. But this is the one I kept. And I did use some of my dies. So this is a die from my apple stitching die collection. It's the center of a flower, but it's the perfect bunny tail. And then the little flowers here are also from my felt beehive set. So I like to repurpose individual dies from different die sets for my dies. I did stitch over the feet and the nose with a little embroidery stitch. I added eyelashes and whiskers, all of the fun little details. He's just the cutest. This is actually, I put some of the stuff away that was in here. This was how I had it styled for photography, and it's still on here, so I just am showing it this way. Look, it's been a week. So that is what it is. So that is going to be it for my finishes this week. I'm happy that I had a couple of little projects completed. And let's go ahead and move into some finishes. Okay, so I have one finish this week, and that is going to be my Cupid sampler from With Thy Needle and Thread. And here is my finish. I absolutely love this. This was a joy to stitch. And I'm kind of surprised at how much I didn't want to stitch this when it first came out, and I am just obsessed. So the way I approached mine, I did stitch it with the Classic Colorworks variegated floss in Cupid instead of the called for DMC. So you can see some really nice variegation, especially in the Cupid itself. This was based on an old a wood block engraving. There we go. So I stitched mine on the called for fabric, which is 40 count winter brew. I did change the floss to the over dyed, and I thought the name was perfect. You'll have noticed I'm going to pop a photo of last week compared to this week. When I started this, I had stitched the whole border, and I'd kind of started here and had a little bit of the Cupid, and I'd done a little of the alphabet. And how I approached it this week is one evening, I just did not have the brain power for all the counting that was involved in this. So I had actually started down here, and since I had rolled, because I stitch in hand, so I'd rolled my fabric and I was kind of like to here. I ended up stitching like part of this row. I had a few letters in all of these. And then the next day when I felt a little bit less tired perhaps, I decided to come over here and work on stitching this. And I think this took me 1 or 2 evenings. I went ahead and finished stitching the Cupid. And then I literally just stitched all the rest of the alphabet. A couple of new things for me. I'd never done a 4-sided stitch before, so I had to learn to do that for the L, O, V, and E. And that might be the only thing that was new. But I really, really love it. I am going to get my piece framed, so when I go pick up my other pieces, I'm going to take this and get it framed so I have it ready to go for next year. I love everything about this. I love having a Valentine's frame piece ready to go. And if you haven't stitched this, stitch it. It is so, so, so cute. Perfect way to round out my February stitching, I feel like. So that's Cupid's sampler from With Thy Needle and Thread. All right, so let's talk WIPs, and let's also talk Christmas WIPGO first. So my WIPGO polls for February, neither one were super great because, quite frankly, they weren't WIPs. So I've learned something. I think WIPGO needs to be WIPs for me, not new starts. And if they had not both been new starts, probably would have been easier. However, I made the best of it and I adjusted. So I'm going to talk to you about that, and I'm not going to feel bad about it because it's my WIPGO board and I do what I want. I'm still loving the Christmas WIPGO. I never touched Sweet Moon from Teresa Kogut again. That is okay. Kind of was working on some other things, but I did start it, so I consider that a Christmas WIPGO win. And my other original new start or WIPGO poll, which was a new start, was Gather Round the Manger from Hands On Design. And the problem with that is, I guess in my mind, I thought that I would have more time to pull threads and fabric for that before it got pulled. And I didn't. And I don't have anything pulled for it. And I just didn't do it. Mostly because I'm having a hard time figuring out what fabric I'm going to stitch mine as one piece. It was a Jingle Ball 2025 release. So I want to stitch mine as one piece. I have shifted that one from this WIPGO board. Not from the board completely, but on my board it was 5. So this was one of the WIPGO numbers pulled. You can see I crossed it out. And next to it I put Stacy Nash Sugar because my friend Chantal and I are stitching the Animal Cracker Sugar, which was also a Jingle Ball release, but Stacy Nash is releasing at Market. So if you don't have Sugar yet, get Sugar. So I put that here because I did start that the very last day of February, and I moved to this free space here. I moved Hands-On Design, Gather Round the Manger, and if 15 gets pulled, I will do that. That's kind of my feeling. I had to make some decisions, but I'm not sad about it. I wanted to start Sugar since Chantal had mentioned it and we said we would stitch it together. So I decided I'm going to start that instead. Since I had the fabric pulled for it, I had threads. I had neither for Gather Around the Manger, and it was looking like it was going to be a fail. So now I feel like I was successful. This month's polls. So I should mention, in case you didn't know, this WIPGO board is a free download on my blog. I'll put a link to my blog down below. You scroll down to the right-hand side of my blog. There's all kinds of free downloads there. There's my postage stamp heart pillow. There's this, and then I also have the Christmas WIPGO monthly numbers. I messed up my board, and so I have to fix it. But just know that by the time you see this video, there will be the most updated board on my blog. So I'll have inserted the actual numbers. I just handwrite mine in. I didn't reprint it again. But if you want a brand new, if you're jumping in now and you want to put in all the numbers, or you just like to print off a new one each month, it will be updated, so you can just go grab it there. So this month's numbers are 4 and 3. Yes, was I having some special moments? I was having some special moments, so there's a lot of crossouts. And I'm going to show you what mine are before I talk about my whips. So let's talk about 4 first. That was the first one called. And my number 4 is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas from Fig Tree Quilts, which I'm stitching on a 46 count with my own overdyes. It's charted in DMC. And there's Cosmo conversions in the chart, but I am doing Susan the Felted Pears color conversion. And this is where I'm at on 46. I want to do something kind of cute with this. I am going to work really hard and see how much I can get done this month on this one. And you know the other big bummer? The other big bummer, February was several days shorter, obviously, than all the rest of the months. And I had 2 new starts. That just does not even seem like that should be right. I should have just adjusted right off the bat, right? Who cares? It's fine. Anyway, so I would like to get this one crossed off my whip list. So wish me the best of luck with that. Loving this one, though. I think it's really fun. Those fig tree colors, you guys know I love fig tree. So that is my number 4, which was the first number pulled. And then my 3 is something else that's coming out at Market that I had started. Don't ask me where my threads are. I think they're in my Teresa Kogut bag, so I'm going to have to go scrounge those up. But this is the Cardinal Friend from her Let It Snow book, which is on the cover. And I had forgotten, I think I had said she had started, or her model was stitched on a blue fabric, which is gorgeous. I'm stitching on Sepia by Cedar River Linen, and I was like, maybe I'll change, but now that I see it, I'm like, nope, not changing. I love it. This is 36 count, and my goal is to have this one done this month. This is not that big of a stitch. It's 150 by 100, so I would consider this kind of a schmedium stitch, and I think I can get it done. Once all that white fill in, you can see I'm doing outline And that white fill-in will be one of those things. What I kind of like to do with fill-in is I will do a strand of fill-in, I'll stitch something else. Then I'll do a strand for the fill-in, and I'll stitch a color. That breaks up all of the fill-in for me. Or if I'm zoom stitching with friends, this is a great kind of thing where I can just sit and just keep filling in. So that is Cardinal Friend from Teresa Kogut. Grab your pre-order of Let It Snow if you haven't. It has so many great charts in it, and this one is included. I love, love, love this one. And I'll find my threads before... I'm using all called for. I know that. I'll find my threads before I start stitching. So that is Christmas WIPGO. And then I really only worked on one other WIP this week. I finished Cupid Sampler, and I really, really want to get 'Tis the Season by Blackbird done so I can take it and Cupid Sampler. And I worked on it, but didn't feel good. I didn't stitch 2 evenings, I think, because I just was so... I didn't feel good. I went to bed. You know, when the day just needs to be over. So, anyhow, I did do a little work on 'Tis the Season from Blackbird, which is from Home for the Holidays. Book is one of the places. I think you can get it in another book as well. And just as a reminder of what it looks like, here is the finished piece. I absolutely adore it. I'm stitching mine on 36 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit with all of the called for Belle Soie silks. I believe last week I had finished filling in my cardinal. This week I only worked a tiny bit. I filled in the rest of the white. I'm halfway now, by the way, just a little past that. I worked on filling in the rest of the white. I finished the word, almost finished the words. I need to finish the in. And I did these leaves, these 5 berries, and all of the white. I kind of ended right here when I worked on this the other evening. So that is where I am so far. And I would like to probably hit this one kind of hard the beginning of this week. I think I could probably get it done so that when they call to tell me that my framed pieces are ready, I can drop this and Cupid Sampler off. But I absolutely love every single thing about this piece. I love the threads. I love the colors. I love the Saltbush linen. Yeah, I can't say enough great things. This is one of my favorite things I've worked on in a while. I love it. Love it, love it. So again, this is 'Tis the Season from Home for the Holidays by Blackbird. Okay, my final WIP for this week is Sugar from Stacey Nash. And Chantal and I were trying to find an animal cracker to stitch together, and we decided on Sugar. This was released at the Jingle Ball, but is coming out at Market, so if you want to grab it. And luckily, Chantal started hers before mine, and she's like, he's huge. So some of Stacey Nash's animal crackers are bigger than others, and I really should have guessed. He's 102 by 140, 102 by 142. That's pretty big. So the finished size is 5 by 8. I mean, it says right on here, so you should guess. I want mine to be a little smaller, or a lot smaller. So I had already prepped. I think I showed you guys this even, so I'll have to use that fabric for something else. I had prepped a 36 count, the called for parchment. I actually switched to a 46, so he'll be quite a bit smaller. This is Salted Caramel by No. 12 Stitch Co. I love her fabric. I love her 46 fabric. I love all of her fabric, but she has some really great colors in 46. And even stitching on 46, look at him. He's going to be a nice size. So really, really cute. I've only done a little bit of the outline. That's what I got done last night. So this was, again, my other substituted WIPGO pull because he has Christmas theme. He's got a Christmas sweater, or she's got a Christmas sweater on. I'll be honest, I can't remember that its name is Sugar. Would anyone like to guess what this Disney-loving girl's heart thinks that this skunk's name is? I'm sure you've guessed. In my mind, I'm like, it's Flower from Bambi. I just think that all the time. So I was like, I told Chantal the other night, I'm like, what's its name again? She goes, Sugar. I'm like, oh yeah. It's just I don't know what it is, but I have that mental block of what I think this one's name is. But this is our cute little Sugar start, and that's just the head. So the sweater will be here, and then the legs. It's still going to be good size, even on 46. So always kind of keep that in mind when you're stitching of what the finished size is going to be. I always love Christy Crosshatch Quilts videos, but I have been like obsessed lately. She was talking about working on bigs and when she did her whip parade and kind of, you know, that kind of thing. And then her latest video was all about smalls. And she showed all of her Stacey Nash bunnies that she's stitched. And like Harrison is really big and Maggie May is really small and Primrose is smallish too. I just really love seeing that comparison of the different animal crackers next to each other. But her videos are so fabulous. I love seeing what she's up to. And she had startitis. And I'll tell you that I have a pile of things I want to start. And I thought it must just be that season. I don't know if it's spring or what, but I feel the exact same. So I'm stitching Sugar on 46 count salted caramel with all of the called for Weeks Dye Works overdyes. And I forgot to bring those in here for filming, but literally I've used coal and grits. I think it's grits or whitewash. I can't remember which at the moment. Maybe it says, wouldn't that be whitewash? Coal and whitewash is what I've used so far. Which one strand of whitewash, lots and lots of coal. But I like to do fill in. I like to do outline and then I like to fill it in. So I like to get the face going too. For me, it's kind of very inspiring to see a face. And then I'm a lot more apt to keep going on it. So that is our sweet little Sugar by Stacey Nash. Previous finishes. I don't know about you guys, but it always feels like revisiting old friends when I pull out previous finishes. So I don't decorate for St. Patrick's Day, really. So unfortunately, this little guy is the only St. Patty's cross stitch I have. I should rectify that. There are some things, I have some charts. I just don't stitch that much. So encourage me to find something to stitch, okay? This is one of my favorite little finishes that I did a couple years ago, and I did not even get it out last year, I remember. This is the Lucky Spool by Crafty Bluebonnet. I did use all my own overdyes. I stitched it probably on 36 or 40, can't remember now. Jersey Girl Stitch Co. pens in the top. I mean, this is an extravagant finish for this little thing, but it's one of my favorites. Little Sweetwater fabric on the back. I think that's a Christmas line fabric, but the green was perfect. Did a cording trim all the way around. I glued this trim in place. Did not even stitch it. Can't believe I did that. Some beautiful ribbons, some seam binding ribbons up here in the top, and then the little cording tails. I love it. I love this finish, and I love this piece. So I need to find like one St. Patty's thing to start this year, I think, so that I at least have something going. I have no whips even for St. Patrick's Day. Really, really cute. And again, this is the Lucky Spool from Crafty Bluebonnet and my one and only St. Patrick's cross stitch. You guys tell me, like, what should I stitch? I feel like I need some direction. I should probably look and see what I have. Like, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Maybe the little freebie chart from Primrose Cottage. I hope I printed that out. I'll look. Anyway, maybe something small like that. And then I want to do my March wordplay from Brenda Gervais. Got to do that February one first. Let's talk Easter. I'll just start with this big one. Now, I do want to mention this, and I will put a link to this down below, because a lot of you asked me at Christmas time about these foam sleeves. This is the bigger size. I'll put both sizes that I use. These are like what you pack dishes and things in, but I use them for my cross stitch because it keeps them protected in the storage box. So I can stack things, but I don't feel like they're rubbing up, you know, next to each other. And I know so many of you asked me about these. I've provided the link, but I'll put the link in this video too. And I kept them in here to show you guys. This is more chocolate bunnies from Hands On Design. This was a sale a couple of years ago on was it the Perpetual Paddle? Is that right? From 141 Design. If that's not right, the right thing will be on the screen. But I stitched it on all the called for. We used silky floss, little buttons for the tails from Just Another Button Company. I did a covered button. There's a whole tutorial, a whole playlist, and I will put it right here for you guys and down below for this chart. This still is like one of my favorite hard finishes. It's just so cute. These picks were from Hobby Lobby. You know, Hobby Lobby usually brings back a lot of these things. These are like my favorite. I think the carrot picks are. I also have some little floral sprigs and eggs. I don't know if those are. They might have been Michael's, but the carrots are from Hobby Lobby. So run and grab those because of course they are seasonal, and these are some of my favorites. But this is More Chocolate Bunnies from Hands On Design. We're just going to keep them in here for now until I get all of my Easter decor up, which is going to be this week. So wish me luck in that. Okay, so if I have smaller things, I'll put a couple things in these smaller size. And these are a couple of pillows. Let's see what we've got in here. Oh, this actually was this really fun little pillow that we did at the Quilters Station. It's not cross stitch. The Quilters Station retreat last spring with Lois of Lady Dot Creates. Really cute. We sewed all these little flowers on and things. So I have it in here because it's a great bowl filler. I believe this is Grandma's Candy Dish from With Thy Needle and Thread. Stitch on a beautiful lavender fabric. I'm sure it was a color in cotton with all the called for threads. I just love it. I did a little teeny tiny white rickrack around the edges. So cute. I love Brenda Gervais bunnies. Have I mentioned that before? Maybe once or twice. Okay. And then this is the Rabbit and the Rose from With Thy Needle and Thread. Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher and I did a stitch along for this like 3 years ago, I think now. Some Lady Dot Creates chenille trim. It may have been 4 years ago, quite frankly. I have no idea. This has got a combination, I can feel them, poly pellets and I'm sure polyester fiber fill. I don't love it at this point. It's not terrible, so it's not going to get redone this year, but I think eventually I'll probably open it up because I'm sure it's open down here, but it will require a complete, I sewed my trim on. I'm going to have to take it off. I'm going to have to re-sew it on. Maybe it's just going to stay like this. Or maybe I open it in the back and make a patch. Hey, you got to do what you got to do here. I don't know. But I would like to re-stuff it with wool roving and pack it a little tighter. I also, this was before I started putting interfacing on my back fabric. And see how it's all, ugh. I like interfacing. I like the structure. So that's the Rabbit and the Rose. And I did do this one last year, and I freaking love this one. This is Cottontail & Co. from Scattered Seed Samplers. And I loved every stitch of this. I loved the kind of ruched ribbon trim around the edges. I do love this one. This was a last year stitch for me. And kind of a different colorway, but it just works. It just works. And I couldn't love it more. I want to add I want to add another one from her to my collection this year because I just love it. Look at that bunny. I love the little polka dots. Oh my gosh, I just love him so much. So pretty. This is Mrs. Bun E. Tail from With Thy Needle and Thread. Finished this a couple years ago. I love it. Probably would have put some wool roving in it if I was finishing it today. I could always open it up and redo and restuff. But love it. So cute. Really just one of those things that I'm like, I made this. This stitched up really, really fast. Super cute. And I think Chantal of 141 Design has some of these in stock. I literally stitched this in one evening and then finished it. Super quick. Okay, this is one of 3. And unfortunately, these were our finishes from Cherry Hill Stitchery, which she's no longer designing charts. But I stitched these a couple of years ago. So I have Bunnies Love Carrots, Bunny Food, I have 3 of them, and Carrot Patch Hop This Way. And I made them into little hanging signs, and I put them on these 141 Design little stand-ups. I forget the name. I'll put it on the screen, and I'll have a link to them at the 141 Design shop. I made they're just little chipboard signs. So the stitch is on one, and then on the back, I did another piece of chipboard. I stitched them together, and then I put the jute around the edge and finished them up. And then they just hang on here. You glue all the little pieces together. Aren't they cute? With your bunnies, like I have a whole bunch of bunnies because I love them. They look so, so cute when styled. So love these. And if maybe you can find the charts secondhand somewhere, I don't know. I really they were really quick, easy stitches. And they came out, gosh, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. You know, time flies when you're having fun. So, love those. And I just kind of, again, tuck multiple finishes in to my little storage. Okay, let's see what's in this one. Oh, yeah, this is my Biscornu. This is the Hands-On Design Biscornu from... It's the basket series, and I did a basket sal and then tutorial, so where we took Kathy's designs that were flat and in pillows, and we made Biscornus. So you can check out that playlist right here as well. It's a really fun one. I love this little spring Biscornu. Really cute. And the colors of this match one of my whips. Same fabric. Yep, it's a 32 count that this was stitched on, all of that. 2 more little pillow finishes. So this is the Hop On In by Hands On Design. Same sulky threads that were used in the More Chocolate Bunnies. And I would like to refinish what this is stuffed with, and I opened it here. That would be easy to do. I might do that this year, because it would just be opening, dumping, and restuffing. But love this little finish. So cute. And this finish was based on this one pretty much. This is the Cherry Hill Stitchery Hope. And there is a video tutorial for this one. And I'm going to open this one up and restuff it too, because I opened it up at the bottom. And you can see the similarities in the finish with the little rickrack and all of that good stuff. So I will link that video right here for you guys if you want to see how I did that. But I am going to restuff with wool roving because I like how that feels a little bit better. All right. Now, that is it for previous Easter finishes. And let's see what else I have. All right, let's talk Easter whips and then what I have kitted and what I'm inspired to stitch. The first thing I'm going to share is the first WIP I'm going to finish, which is Coco's Garden by Teresa Kogut. So I started this. I have a good start on it. I just need to finish working on it. I am stitching on 40 count something Sleeping Bear by Needle and Flax. And I love it. I just need to sit down and finish this one. I did do a full color conversion to color and cotton. If it was today, I wouldn't have done that, but it's too late now. Let's see. So here is what that looks like. If for anyone who wants to know, that is my little conversion. I do like the colors. I don't know. It's too late now. We're started and we're going, and I do love it. I love this bunny. So this is the first one that I want to finish this year so I can have this basket done. Then I want to finish Hop into Spring by With Thy Needle and Thread. I have just a small start on this. I'm stitching on 36 count Pyrite by Cedar River Linen. I believe that's called for. I'll look. Yep. And I'm using all the called for colors. And I only have a tiny start. I have the finishing board from 141 Design for this. I want to have this one done this year. I love this piece. Like I said, I love Brenda Gervais bunnies so much. So this one is, after Coco's Garden, this is the second priority. And I know I talked about this during the WIP parade that I considered adopt a whipping this one because I don't want to stitch with 2 threads. I am halfway done. Honestly, I'm going to ground it out because I want to have this one done. I love the bunnies on this. I've done all my favorite parts. That's kind of unfortunate, isn't it? No. So I do very much love this beautiful flower up here. I think with maybe 2 to 3 nights, maybe, I could pound this one out too. Let's see if I can get this one done as well. I do have this board. I have the autumn one. That's the only one I have done. I think this is the only other one I have started for this. This is a board from 141 Design. I am very much considering getting this framed though, into a little skinny frame. So I am going to finish it because the colors, every time I pull it, in my mind, I think to myself, I don't want to stitch with 2 strands. And then I pull it out and the colors are gorgeous. So I am just going to make myself finish this one. And that is Spring Folk by Hands On Design. And you guys, those are my only 3 spring WIPs. I have so many things that I want to stitch, but that is it in the WIP department. That's pretty good. Okay, kitted up projects. I had 2 spring kitted up projects. Oh, I have 3. I lied. Okay, so these first 2 kitted up projects that I have to share. I saw Christy Crosshatch Quilts talk about both of these. Maybe she wants to buddy up and encourage each other because I want to stitch these. So, and I sure did. I thought so. I did a partial conversion for this one too. The first one are the Bunny Thieves from Teresa Kogut. They're finished on these fun picks from 141 Design, which I do have. They are so cute, and I think they would be adorable in displays. They are stitched on perforated paper. I do have the perforated paper right here. They're 2/1 on 14 count white perforated paper. I should just stitch them and get them done. Do I have enough perforated paper? I have 2 sheets, that's plenty. I'm not super excited about stitching on the perforated paper, but maybe it won't be so bad because the finishes are precious. Absolutely so stinking cute. Here it is. Here are the colors. And I think, yeah, I did a partial color conversion. So I changed the DMCs. I changed the DMCs to color and cotton. Sorry, I covered my mouth. And I am going to hold this up. I did, because the stitch is on the other side of this. We'll see. But I think I'm just going to try to bang these out this year too. I love them. So that is Bunny Thieves from Teresa Kogut, and I've had this kitted. I've had it kitted for like 2 years. I should just stitch those. We're going to put all of these in my Easter basket. And then I saw Christy Crosshatch Quilts again post about this one, which is my printer was not good. I printed this a year ago. This is the Velvet Carrot Needle Book from Stacy Nash. And I bought the kit when I was in Amana from Farm Girl Dry Goods. So it has all of the fabric and the wool and the velveteen and all the threads. So, and even the fabric. Everything is in here. So I am going to start this one too. I love, look at this. Isn't that cute? Really, really fun. So that is, those were my kitted projects. Nope, I have one more kitted project. I keep trying to tell you those are my only kitted projects, but it's not. So we have the Bunny Thieves, the Velvet Carrot Needle Book, and then this was in my Market Starts. That's why it wasn't in the right place in my closet. That's getting reorganized. I also want to start this, the Spring Sampler Fragment from Shakespeare's Peddler. I kitted this up last year with the dark soil and all of the threads, all the called for, and I want to get this one stitched. So that is Spring Fragment from Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler. So those were my 3 kitted up projects. I feel like that's pretty good. 3 spring whips and 3 kitted projects. But I'm getting ready to kit it all up. I'm not even kidding. So some may say I have a with thy needle and thread problem. Full set syndrome is what we call it in the paper crafting world. And I pulled all the charts for spring. Not all. I have more. I have way more. I kind of pulled all the smalls. Or most of the smalls from that section. I think I pulled these last year as well. But I'm going to kit them up. This first one, Holly Jones, Mrs. Jones Stitches just finished this. And I'm obsessed. Spring Greetings Bouquet. I'm totally stitching that. So cute. So that's going to get kitted up. I've had this kitted for a couple years. No, I've had it pulled aside for a couple years, and at the end of each spring, I put it back. Hello, Spring. I just love all of the colors in this. I love the bird and the nest and the house. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to kit that up. I'm just going to kit them all up. Hold me to it. We'll talk about this next week. This one is going to be a framed piece. So this one I would say is not on the small scale. It is 132 by 200, so it's going to be bigger. But I'm obsessed with it and I want a framed piece. This is 3 tulips. I love, love, love it. I wanted to start it last year. I didn't. I'm kitting it up and starting it this year. And then Mrs. Bunny, no, before we get to that, I also love this one. It's, what is it? I can't even read this. Springtime Messenger. I have loved this one. This would be another quick one. So pretty, and I love the buttons on this. So I think I'm going to kit that and stitch it up. I am not going to stitch it on 28 count. And I'm not going to stitch it on that gingham. It's pretty, but I'm not doing that. I'll stitch mine on something else. So, Mrs. Bunny Tail, my little bunny from With Thy Needle and Thread, needs friends. And her friends from With Thy Needle are going to be Hoppin' Along Sampler. Again, I doubt these take very long. I love, love, love these. And this is an old one from 2009. I don't know if some of these are available. I'm just showing you things from my stash that I want to stitch. This is Miss Lappin, and she's from 2010. And she has some... Oh, yeah. And that so same style. All dimensional stuffed bunnies. I love them. Isn't she cute? And as always, full instructions all on here. Very, very easy. Love that. Okay. And then this one is not With Thy Needle, but I feel like this one is going to go nicely with my bunnies. And this is Sweet Pea from La Di Da, and I actually got this from a viewer, and I pulled it aside because I thought I want to add this bunny to the rest of my assortment. So this is Sweet Pea from La Di Da. Isn't that cute? Love, love, love. And I even figured if I wanted to, I could take colors from the With Thy Needle and use them on this one so that they all coordinate. But absolutely adorable. Those are some of the Easter things that are on my radar. I mean, that's plenty. I could pull so many more. There are so many. I had a hard time stopping myself. I actually just told myself I couldn't pull any more out. I have a lot of things I would like to stitch. So I'm going to kit up I'm going to kit up all of these, I think. I'm going to get my fabric, I'm going to get my threads, and especially with the With Thy Needle, there's a lot of repeat in color, so I can kind of put all those colors on a ring and go for it. So that is it for my Easter loose plans. All right, Happy Mail and Enable Vision. First, I'm going to share my... Oh gosh, one moment. We're going to share a little Happy Mail, and then I'll show you the tiniest bit of haul. I got some charts from Wendy. She lives in London. Wendy, thank you so much. She said she enclosed a couple of Just Nan charts. She was clearing them out and came across them, and she saw where I was talking about patriotic stitching, so I want to show these with you. And so beautiful. Look at the Liberty Homeland Angel. And this is, I'm going to see what year. 2001. That is a treasure. Okay, and this one is from 1997. Oh my gosh, you guys. Evangeline. How awesome are these? Wendy, thank you so, so much. Love that. Those are so fun. She even included the beads for the Liberty one. Oh my gosh, just incredible. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, and then Fat Quarter Shop sent a few things. They sent a couple of new Lori Holt patterns. Simply Sweet. So pretty. I love the pillow down here. That pillow version is so cute. If I had a little girl, again, that would be the cutest little quilt and pillow for like a bedroom. And then Birdsong, also from Lori Holt. This is gorgeous. I love it. I love the border all the way around it. I love the flowers, the birds. Really beautiful patterns. And they also sent, which I totally love, Lori's new canning jar floss drops. So cool. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Fat Quarter Shop. Then the latest Sew Sampler came. So I'm just going to pop this open. It's called Milk and Meadow February. And in it, you get, well, first of all, you always get the wonderful little printout that tells you everything included. So this February had the Butter Churn Farmer's Daughter Junior 10-inch stacker from Lori Holt. Awesome. Lots of great patterns. Perfect for little pillow backs and all that stuff if you don't want to make the project included. Then they have the wonderful vintage block. This is the vintage Milkmaid Star foundation paper. I love this. I've made this. This is the 6-inch size. Super, super cute. I need this like today. This is the Olfa Endurance Blade. I actually just put my last one on my rotary cutter yesterday. Fabulous. Love, love, love that. I like when they put endurance plates in the Sew Sampler. I really do. A 1.5 by 2.5 Creative Grids ruler. I actually don't have this size. I think that might be super handy. I love Creative Grids rulers. And then we have the Butter Churn Table Runner pattern. And of course it uses the vintage Milkmaid foundation paper. Really cute. And the fabric. And then, of course, as always on the back, it tells you everything extra you need to make that. But that's a really, really cute pattern. And the Apple Blossom block that comes in the Sew Sampler. And that is for the flowering quilt along. Super fun. Thank you, Fat Quarter Shop. These items will definitely go to good use. Lots of great stuff included in the Sew Sampler. Okay, Enable Vision is super small because have I not been buying things? Maybe not. It's okay. I've been working on stitching. And yeah, I did. It's all in pre-orders. So it's probably going to be bananas mid-March. The Better Homes and Gardens American Patchwork and Quilting magazine came, and I have been so busy this week. I have not even looked at it yet. It came this week. Really, I always love looking through their quilting magazine. My Sweetwater Label Club labels came this week. I'm part of that. I've been a part of the Label Club for years. I love it. And then the other day after I went to my physical therapy appointment, for my back, I don't think I even talked about that. It's fine. Well, I have a degenerative disc in my lower back. I'm going to PT to learn some things to do to help because I was having some severe pain. Of course, when I go for PT, then it's not flaring up, which is not helpful at all, but I digress. The vintage antique market is right down the street. So I stopped on my way home because why not? It was a Tuesday evening, like 5:30. No one was there. It was fabulous. I think I've only ever really gone on the weekends, and it's always crazy busy. So I walked around for 45 minutes, and honestly, it was so good just to walk. I didn't buy that much, but just to walk. So I bought another whisk. They had several, but this was my favorite one. I don't even know that I'm going to put cross stitches on all of these anymore. I think I'm going to just collect them. I think it was Missy from Two Needles Pulling Threads who sent me a photo after I shared months ago that there's like somebody she knows. I think it was Missy. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. That has a like a barn or a shop in an old barn, and they have these hanging all the way across, and it was so inspiring and amazing. But I could see doing a whole display of these. I just love them. I don't know why, but I do. So I picked that one up because this was a really good one. It had fabric around it, but I already removed that because I don't want that. But the first thing I saw in a booth were these packages, and they are washable embroidered edgings. And there were several. Some of them are a little dingy, but I kind of loved it. But I thought these would be so cute on some finishes. So here's like a little navy. I got the navy. The cream one was not looking good. I was going to get the all cream one, which was just like a cream on cream. And then, here it is. And here's like the little brown edging. So I got these two. They were a little pricey, but I thought they were so cool and just a really fun little thing I could add to the edges of pillows or other little finishes. Super, super cute. So that was my antique market haul. Sometimes I like just stopping in. I remember that I should go shopping by myself more often. I like it. I like just walking. I like walking, thinking, relaxing. There was a quilt there that I wanted to buy. If it's still there, I might go back and buy it. My daughter and I want to make quilted coats, and I was going to quilt my own, or like piece quilt, cut it out, and I still think I might. But this quilt was so soft. It was old. I love it. It's the colors I like. I even took a picture of it. I am tempted to go back and hand quilted. I might go back and buy it. I really, really liked it. So there's that. But I like going and just walking around. Who knew? Who knew? And I say this, I know a lot of you love antiques and going antiquing. I never did. That is not something that my family ever did growing up. My parents are not interested in that whatsoever. So I just had never really been around it. And then, my ex-husband, that was not his thing at all. Although he really thought the old sewing box case that the kids gave me for Christmas, he thought that was super cool. So maybe he just didn't know about it either, because that's totally not his parents' thing either. That was not their thing. Anyway, I had just never really gone antiquing, and come to find out, my oldest son loves it. He loves it. I did not think my daughter loved it. She's all in. She loves it too. We just can't get the youngest. He's not interested. But I really love it. I love walking around, seeing what I see. I've gotten some cool things. My oldest has really he found this most amazing, it's been quite a few months ago, this old chessboard with marble pieces. It was phenomenal. Such a good find. He loves it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I don't know. You find some cool things like what you're looking. Sometimes you find lots, and sometimes you find nothing. Okay. So I think that is it for this week, friends. Thank you so much for joining me for another Flosstube episode. I appreciate you guys being here so very much. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment. All of that stuff super helps my channel and helps me bring you this content weekly. So thank you very, very much. I appreciate you all more than I can say. Are you guys also excited about spring? Are you stitching some spring things, or are you all in on Patriotic? Let me know what you're working on down below. As much as I love stitching Patriotic and have my ongoing big One Nation piece going, I think I'm going to concentrate on spring stitching for this next month and then I'll be all in on Patriotic, I'm sure. So let me know how you guys are feeling about it, and until next time, happy stitching, everyone. Bye. Okay, so let's talk some FFO'S. It will be a 4-week sowl. So likely there will, not likely. I have chosen 3 coordinating cotton fabrics for the back of the pairs, as well as wool felt. I want to pop in how I framed this, so I'm going to pop in a little bit of voiced art. It was a Jingle Bell release this year, or Jingle Bell. But I'm looking for something specific, and they had a couple. They weren't quite what I wanted. I am tempted to go back and see if the quality is good, because I might refinish what I want to do with them. I might go back and look. I have this idea. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. This is not even a good story. This is going to be a blooper, this last part. Who cares?